There was an old king who liked to gather the wisest men in his kingdom and make them his advisors. He loved the smart and clever advisors, and he was very capricious and would promote and demote people seemingly at random. He loved the infighting and the squabbles between their advisors because he thought it kept his power more intact. So they often fought with themselves, and the king played favorites, and his favorite advisor in particular always got the best food, the best assets, and the best land. So the other advisors hated this advisor, but this advisor was extremely clever and extremely smart. And the king almost always took his advice, even over that of all of the other advisors. So the other advisors started devising ways that they could make this favorite look foolish in front of the king. So what they ultimately decided to try was, rather than criticizing him, which they usually did in front of the king, they would lavish praise on him and bait him into saying he had more powers than he actually did. Now, this favorite advisor often said he had powers, and the other advisor knew that he didn't have those powers, but he was able to convince the king that he did have those powers. So the group of advisors decided, we're going to bait him into saying that he can read our minds. Now, we know he can't read our minds, but even if he guesses correctly, we'll just lie and say that he didn't actually read our minds correctly, and he will look like a fool in front of the king. So at the next meeting with the king, the other advisors totally changed course and started praising the favorite advisor. Usually they berated him and said he wasn't that great and told the king all the mistakes he made, but in this case they said, "Oh, great king, you're so marvelous. You picked such a great advisor. He's so smart. He's so great. I bet he could do anything." And the advisor beamed with praise and said, "Yes, that is me. I am the greatest advisor." And the group said, "Oh, yes, I bet you could even read our minds, couldn't you?" And the advisor said, "Well, even if I could, why would I want to read something so boring and so stupid?" And with this, the group of advisors was seething with rage, but they stuck to their plan and said, "Oh, but we want to see such a demonstration. You can read our minds, can't you? You could do it." And he said, "Yes, of course I could do it." And they said, "Well, show us. Prove it to us. Prove that you can read our minds." And the smart favorite advisor said, "Okay, I'll do it." The other advisors thought, "Yes, we got him. We trapped him." Because even if he did read their minds, they were just going to say that he didn't and tell the king that they were thinking the exact opposite of whatever he said. So the favorite advisor got up in front of the king and said, "Your Majesty, I am now going to tell you what all of your advisors are thinking right now." And the king thought, and he thought, I've always wanted to know what my advisors think of me. And the king started thinking of ways that he would punish or promote advisors based on what his favorite advisor said. So the advisor got up and said, "Well, Your Majesty, it seems as if all of your advisors are thinking about how devoted they are to you, how kind they think you are, how wise they think you are, and how you have such a magnificent kingdom." And the advisors thought for a minute and said, "You're right, Your Majesty. He did read our minds. He read our minds perfectly. That was incredible. I don't know how he did it." So, if you're going to be a know-it-all, make sure to know how to read people's minds correctly. So I hope you enjoyed this story. No idea what moral it has, but I think it's a fun story, and we'll see you next time.